today in this video, the tip I'm going to share with you is how you can modify your HA7 T Harness. This one here is from an OLRS HA7, which is the Omega Link version of an iDatalink, which is the same thing as an ADS THR HA7. This is the module. I've already done part 2 of the key cloning process, so all I have to do now is modify it. So out of the box, this one here, made before late of 2016, required this modification where you have to add in a relay. Off of the 12 pin there is a purple with a green stripe, and the way this works is you wire this wire into the module, the 12 pin here. So when this remote start engages, it's going to throw out a ground pulse, which is going to open up pins 87 and 30, so that way it's not going to show power to the keyless entry module, so that way when you walk up you can hit unlock on the factory keyless entry, unlock the vehicle while it's on the remote start. If you don't do this modification, that's not going to be a possibility, and in some vehicles it's not going to be possible to use a 3-pulse activation lock at all. So I've already taken a standard relay, wired the green with the violet, ran 2 wires here which I'm going to use to interrupt the wire on the T harness. I'm going to twist those up real quick. Now, on the harness, you're going to have some different plugs. This one here is MS1, which the red wire is where you have to connect red with a 1 amp fuse is what they recommend. So I'm just going to connect this tentatively. I'll come back and button these up later, but for speed's sake, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. This here, I'm going to leave myself a little bit of slack, not too much, so I can tighten this up and tie it into my T harness. Just going to take a female, so there's my power lead, which I'm going to put on the opposite side of the coil. So you have 85 going in from the starter, 86 is your power. So when this engages, it's going to click the coil and it's going to open up these 2 pins. Now the pins, the way the pinouts work on this harness is like this. If you look at the photo that's on the downloadable PDF on their site, it's horrible, it's atrocious. You have to like magnify the thing 80 times and it still looks weird. So weird that even myself I had to call up and ask them just for clarification. So just to take the mystery out of it, the brown wire over here, if you cut this tape off of VS1 and VS2, also a little bit of the T harness portion, you're going to see in here there's kind of like a clump of wires where there's 2 browns, which is the ones I chopped. Then you have the brown with the yellow. The brown with the yellow you leave alone, the 2 browns you cut. Then you put them together as I show right here. Connect those, solder them, tape them up, whatever. Then, if you look at their image, it shows a black wire, and it shows it basically in a spot where there's a totally different color, which is this guy right here. You can see where it actually is on this side of the plug, the male side of the plug, by the way. If you take 1, 2, 3, which is where the brown yellow is, you go down right there, the 3rd wire down. So from the left you get the black, then you get a white black, and you have another white black. That's when you're going to cut on either side, and that's where you're going to put in between the relay. Okay, just to illustrate, these are going to rest normally closed during normal operation of the vehicle. When the starter engages, the relay is going to click. It's going to energize and open up the coil between 87 and 30. And this is not going to get power to the keyless entry module, allowing you to hit unlock without any complications, because once it has power, it will no longer respond. When it does not have power, the circuit will function and you can unlock the doors manually after remote start. You go up, unlock, no problem, get in, turn your key on, hit the brake and go. Or actually in this application it's a push to start, so you just get in and just hit the brake and just go ahead and go. So that's what it's going to be. So you have one side here, one side here. Just before I go, I'll show you again. This is the female side. From here it's I can't even see, my eyes are so awful. That's what happens when your eyes go black. First, second, third one over. Of course, it should be the mirror opposite of what the other side of the plug is. On your male side, you have your black, you have one with the white blacks. The third one over, that's your target wire. So once you've done that, you have your relay. Should look like this. 87 over here should be blank. 87A should be one side. 30 should be your other side. That's interrupting the wire. Purple with the green. Input from the remote start 12-pin wire as shown here. Power on the other side, which is going to the MS1 plug, red wire here. Just button this all up, tape it up, insulate it, put it in, and that's how it's done.